What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Red Lantern, the RLC leader, JJ Stewart, back again with another reaction. I want to welcome y'all back to JJ Stewart RLC Reacts. We're doing a reaction to DC K.O. I have my two DC K.O. video reviews that I did, unboxing. I'll have them drop. They have up two videos, so I have the two DC review, or not review, kind of slash review unboxing videos. Let me know in the comments. I'll make a poll, and actually, want me to do a read along. I can read the issue to y'all and show y'all others in the panel. I'll make that post Tuesday, and I'll drop these videos. I'll drop the two videos and this one too. So let's go. With Scott Snyder.
Hello, DC official Discord. My name is Paul Kaminsky. I'm group editor, Metropolis Group of DC Comics.
Hi, Paul.
I work on Superman and all sorts of cool stuff.
Okay.
And I'm here with Mr. Scott Snyder, architect behind
Scott
DC
Snyder.
K.O.
Yes, so DC K.O.
And we're here to talk about DC K.O. and answer your questions from the
Ooh.
Discord community. Scott, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let's jump in here.
Let's get it.
Batsy, the Dark Knight asks, which fight of DC K.O. was your favorite?
Oh, man, that's hard. I loved writing so many of them. I think, honestly, the last one. I mean, I love when Clark comes walking straight through Lex Luthor, and when he kind of confronts Darkseid, it's like everything that we've been building to the whole time. And
Nice.
all the temptation, all of the kind of heroism, all of the villainy, it's kind of all encapsulated in that one fight. For all of the bombast and the fun that we did with everything from boss battle to the gauntlet to the fight month, it really comes down to like Clark rejecting Darkseid, fighting really not to be King Omega, but instead to be part of a collective. I love it because it's the message, and I'm a big old softie for all of my like cruelty to all these heroes.
Nice.
I am a big softie at the end of the day.
And how about that design for Superman by series artist Javi Fernandez?
Yeah, that's a fire design.
Yeah, I mean, Javi was just unbelievable. Javi and Zermanico and Josh also. I mean, the whole team, like Alex on colors, I mean, and Haas on letters. I mean, it was so fun. It just felt like this incredibly out of control, almost unhinged energy the whole time, which was part of the fun.
Yeah.
So again, and a lot of that comes from you guys out there in the Discord community, the readers.
I gotta join the Discord.
Retailers. Like, we felt such enthusiasm from you and support. It just makes us want to go bigger and better and all of that stuff. So we really appreciate it. It's been a
Nice.
All right, Peter S. Svensson asks, if you could have 4 more pages to expand on a fight, which fight would you give more attention to? That's a good question.
Ooh.
Honestly, the absolute characters versus the the main universe characters. I wish I had like 40 pages for that because I had so many thoughts that we didn't get to, you know. But, you know, they might meet again someday, so you never know.
Ooh.
Vicious with an X asks, which KO superhero is your favorite and which DC KO supervillain is your favorite? Because there was both in this, Scott.
Oh yeah, that was the fun. It wasn't just like heroes, it was heroes, villains, all of it. So I mean,
Yeah.
Joker is always my favorite villain. I know he gets a lot of screen time, he gets a lot of the spotlight, but like, I love that you just don't know what he's gonna do, whether he's gonna call in
Facts.
Loki and become Emperor Joker, or if he's literally gonna switch sides and become a parademon. He's just like an agent of chaos all the time. Hero-wise, I mean, again, I'll be a softie, but this is the first time I really got to write Clark in a long time, in over 10 years, in like a deep way. And when I wrote him last time, like I was still young and kind of figuring it out, and I have a different relationship with him now. And I feel like, especially in moments like these, where
Nice.
times are tough, and you know, I think people are looking for a hero to really inspire them in all ways, in all aspects of their life. Like, he just takes on a different meaning. Like, he's the kind of guy that looks at us and says, we can do better.
Not me. I'm taking the villain side. Red Lantern Corp all the way. No, I'm not gonna lie. From reading the issues, I definitely enjoyed them. My two favorites are Star Sapphire versus Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and I agree with Scott Snyder. I like the Joker versus Joker versus. Oh my God, why am I forgetting? Joker versus. Oh my God, what am I forgetting? Joker versus. Oh my God, why am I forgetting? It was Joker versus Annabelle the Doll. I think it was Joker versus Annabelle the Doll, or it was Joker versus that teddy bear, or not teddy bear, but that bear. Sydney, I think was her name. Them my two favorites out of all of them. I'm reading all of them. They were them like my two favorite, and I love the plot story, how they had both of them meet each other, both characters and both issues. I love how they got them to meet, and we get to learn their backstories and how they got into the universe, how they got into the tournament. Chef's kiss. And that's why I'm like, man, that's why they should do that more. I know they can't make a video game like that. Well, they can't use outside characters like Mortal Kombat, but they probably, I don't know if they can use like Sydney the Bear, Annabelle the Doll, that's Blair House. I don't know if they can use characters like them. Comic book comic book they can do it, but in video game and like animation they probably can't do that because they would have to get the licenses and all that stuff for it. But I would want to see another Lantern character like that again. See a different color Lantern going up against another character, like something like that, basically. But I don't know. That's a good question. I'm gonna make a poll. And I'll put a question probably in a video asking y'all. So I did this like at 3. So I'm gonna do 3:30. So make sure y'all remember this timestamp. 3:30. I'm gonna have the question right there in a little. It should be up above where I'm gonna ask, if y'all had to pick a Lantern, a different color Lantern, who would it be and who would y'all want them to face? So I'm gonna put something like, I'll put the different characters, and then y'all let me know in the comments below who would y'all want them to face. Like I'll say somebody like Kyle Rayner, Jessica Cruz. Oh, they both Green Lanterns, my bad. So Kyle Rayner. Well, we could do Kyle Rayner as a White Lantern, Jessica Cruz as a green, Guy Gardner as a Red Lantern, and Larfeez as an Orange Lantern. Something like that. I'll have a poll. I'll have it in a poll, and then I'll have it up above. And who would y'all want them to face? Like Larfeez, somebody that's greedy like that. Who would y'all want him to face? Like Larfeez versus, I don't know who's greedy. What's a character that's outside of DC that's a greedy person? I don't know. My brain cannot think, but something like that, basically.
You can be better, and there's just a real incredibly energizing tenderness and uplifting quality to that. So yeah, it was just a joy to write. I miss writing him already. I want to write him again.
Hub
Nice.
City question asks, hey Scott, a lot of
And I wouldn't mind if we can't get an Injustice 3, I wouldn't mind if we get like a DC K.O. video game, something based like the issue, like the comic book where you have King Omega is the ruler and you have to defeat him and have it like any type of fighting, like do it. You could do it just like Injustice, and you could have like different characters, and you can go into like different realities and stuff, and like you can put other characters, like if they can get the license for other characters, put them in there, and you could be facing them. Like you could have like Homelander versus Superman, Star Sapphire versus Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That would be so good if we get like a DC K.O. video game. If we can't get Injustice 3.
comparisons have been made between DC K.O. and the time-honored tradition of tournament arc in shonen battle manga.
True.
How much of an influence
Ooh.
did manga have on this storyline? What are some manga?
Well, I mean, like my kids were crazy into. I'm old school manga. I'm like Vampire Hunter D, Akira,
Hey,
24. Like,
okay.
I'm
Like
old.
your
I love
vampires.
Lolita. That's like 80s manga.
Oh yeah, and
And
Vampirella
then I
too.
took
I
a
love
big
her.
break, and then it was like my kids got into Death Note, My Hero
Oh,
Academia,
nice.
Berserk, and all of those. So
Oh,
manga's been a
Berserk
really
would be
big
a.
influence. I mean, I love like the
I don't
fact
know
that
who
it's
you would put up against
explosive, it's
Berserk though.
soapy, and it's like giant emotions. You know, it wears its heart on its sleeve. It's oversized, epic. So
Berserk
those are
would
all
be a
qualities
good
that
one
I've always
too.
kind of embraced in comics, and I gravitate towards. So it was a big influence in this, and I think that like there's no real for me divide between loving manga and loving American comics or superhero comics. I think they have a lot of the same priorities, and there's a lot we can learn from them. They can learn from us. So yeah, man, like it's all
Facts.
good.
Altamont 498 asks, which characters didn't fight each other in DC K.O. would you like to have fight and why? And who do you
Ooh.
think would win?
Oh man, I
Uh-oh.
wanted to see Deathstroke fight a lot of people, but we didn't have, he wasn't in there. But you can only fit so
Oh.
many. That's really what
Yeah.
it was. Like they were like I really wanted to see Starro fight a lot of people because he was kind of like our old version, like Jaro, which I tried to fit in. But so I wanted to see him fight a lot of people. I would have loved to see Lobo fight more people. I
Ooh.
wanted to see Kara actually really get a chance to fight. I mean, I love writing Zatanna. Zatanna would have been fun to do even more with. Like, honestly,
Ooh.
the balance with this book was like trying to pack as
Kara
much
would
as
be.
you could in.
I don't know who you would put her up
5
against
issues at
though.
the same time. Really keep it contained so you guys felt like you were just getting the most bang for your buck. But I would have done it for 10 issues. So.
Damn.
All right, David the Johnson asks, which fighting games, if any, influenced DC K.O.?
I mean, again, I'm old school, so Street Fighter 2. And I have a big old
Okay.
arcade in our playroom that me and I don't think I'm a bad parent. 6-year-old play together. And we love all these 80s fighting games. So we played
Nice.
Final Fight, Streets of Rage, Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage 3. I'm always Zan. I'm like the old cyborg dude.
Sure.
Renegade, Double Dragon, Altered Beast, like all those. I love all
What
those
about-
fighting games, man. They're great. So yeah.
I know Injustice is part of that too.
Cybernex 007. The enjoyment you have while writing DC K.O. radiates off the page, especially in those slight moments where you reach out and bring in commentary around the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Nod to the fan response around Absolute Batman's Bat logo. I like that too, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do
Are
too.
there any moments that distinctly stick with you and still fill you with the excitement after being able to pull it off in DC K.O.?
The whole event was built around that. I mean, so there were so many moments. I mean, when Joker grows with the Adam's belt and then starts
Yeah.
to and when Batman finally shows up and kills him with the bang and Superman honestly fighting Absolute Superman and having to figure out how to take that on. I mean, all of them, it was just like being a kid and getting to mash these together. But the real honest answer is like when you do an event like this, it's more than a team effort. The whole company comes together to do them, and we have the best leader ever in Paul over here, whose love and enthusiasm for these characters in this universe is more than palpable and is like the real energizing fuel behind this event. I have an incredible partner and like brother and best friend in Josh Williamson. We've been friends 15 years, and I can't say
Got that
about him being
that lantern poster in the background. I'm trying to keep it in the background.
But also this event too with me, and again, the art team was just out of control, and so the real fun.
No, they
is
were.
You have a team like that, and you're putting this stuff together with people that love it as much as you do. Like it's all fun.
No, it
It's
is.
work, and it's work, and there are moments where you're like, oh my god, am I gonna pull that? Are we gonna pull this off? But are we coming in with the wheels on fire? But like. It was a blast. I would do it all over again, sincerely.
Nice.
We had fun.
We did, dude. I want to do it again.
All right, well, Cybernex isn't done here with us.
Okay.
In DC K.O. number 2, what did the thought process look like for the objects to include? That's interesting.
Oh, it was really hard because there were so many other ones like we didn't put in, like Batmobiles
Sure.
and there was like other Kirby stuff, and there were things from other mythologies, and like
Oh.
what would give us the best moments and have things that would represent all the different mythologies and
Yeah.
people and their abilities. So it was hard. I mean, again, like this whole event, every time you guys ask a question here, I think my answer is like, I wish we had even more and could do even more. But yeah, we just picked the the ones that would give us, I thought, like the best representation of the whole DCU and the best moments to play with.
Okay, so Trendy MB asks, how do you make sure events like KO don't harm the narrative pace of the involved comic runs? That's a really good
I'm really, like, we're really sensitive to that. I mean, I think, you know, when I started at DC, events were done slightly differently. And I grew up on events too like this, and there's nothing wrong with them, but that would really take over a lot of the books. And when we have more of them, we just want to be sensitive, I think, to your guys' reading enjoyment. And so we want to give you a lot of different options. So with something like KO, you could buy just the 5-issue series. You could buy the 5-issue series and the fights. You could buy the 5-issue series, the fights, and the mini-series, like the stuff happening in Teen Titans and, you know, the tie-ins, and you could buy the Kids Are All Fight and the boss battle. So it makes it modular so that you can kind of decide what your comfort level is with it. And I enjoy that. That's what we did with metal and death metal, and I believe in that kind of event because it allows you to kind of decide how much you want to explore. And our job is to just try and make it so awesome on every level. You want to buy all of it, and luckily it seems like many of you.
I got to get the mini series because I got Boss Battle, but I got to get the mini series and stuff.
We appreciate it.
Well, James asks what that communication looks like with people such as Aquaman writer Jeremy Adams or John Layman, who was writing Titans for that run.
Oh yeah, well, so we pitch out. What we do is it was actually like a year ago. We pitch out pretty much the whole story to everybody, so they understand like what's in it. We talk to them about, is there anything that their character or their book could use on the other side of it that we could provide, you know, like a blast of energy from Superman's destroying the heart, something, emotional repercussion from the event that they suffer, or that inspires them to do something else, this mysterious return of a character, an object. And then I really believe like the job or the utility of these events is to kind of not just be something in and of itself. It's got to be a great story,
Right.
but it's also got to kind of have an effect and do things that help the line on the other side. And so for us, it was about talking to all the writers, seeing if there was anything the book could do for them. And also it created, you know, the opportunity to do a bunch of new books and to really foreground a lot of our fan favorite characters that don't always get as much love as kind of the big A-listers. So, you know, we got to work together, Paul and the great editorial teams at DC, and created
Because that's what
books, like for Next Level. We got
that, and that I like that too, because it's a lot of like that in the TV shows, animated series, and movies, that they don't show a lot of love, or like they show a lot of love to a character, but then other characters have to take the back seat. Like characters, I would say that it's like once you learn about the character and you like, damn, like example, I'll give y'all 2 examples, and I'm trying to get back into this because I know I'm gonna go off into a whole big plot story and stuff, side story. Characters like Green Arrow, let's say like Green Arrow, he's one of them. Green Arrow is like Green Arrow, and the 2 that I can say that I feel from watching the animated movies and the movies, and there's other characters, but these are characters that I enjoyed and I love, that made me be like, man, I'm really seeing it and stuff. Like Green Arrow and all the Lantern Corps, they really do not get love. And when they do, they always showing them in bad ways. Whereas like, if you really stop and think about it, like a lantern, they're powerful as hell. Their rings are powerful. They come up with constructs of different things that they can imagine. But in animated movies, like let's say Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, they pack them up quickly in the animated movie. They just do a couple moves and then like get destroyed. And it's like, wait a minute, ain't this the guy that has the willpower? He can come up with different stuff, but y'all packing them up. Like, example is like when Hal Jordan was in the Justice League, which one was it? Justice League Doomsday, when Doomsday came down to Earth. No. Yeah, that one, when he came down to Earth and he was destroying everything, Hal Jordan went in, did a couple moves, and then Darkseid packed him up quick and fast, and Flash put him on the wall. I was like, bro. Another one was when Justice League. I think it was Justice League Apocalypse, the animated movie. Don't quote me on it. I could be wrong. Darkseid came down to Earth, started beating up all the people, all the soups. How was cocky, which that's how he does that. He's cocky like that. He goes up, and everybody sees the meme of it. He goes up, grabs a construct of a fist, smacks or punches Darkseid. It doesn't do nothing to him, and then Darkseid just punches him to the ground, and then his parademons just dog walk his ass. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? Green Arrow is the same way. He'll do some cool tricks, and then niggas will just pack him up. Injustice is another one. Injustice, I kind of feel like that one is okay, because that is how it is in the comics, where Superman gets shot with an arrow, but he dodges it and it hits his paw, and he kills Green Arrow. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Why are we packing Green Arrow up? Like, they do not show love for Green Arrow or the Lanterns. It's like they pack them up. And I'm like, bro, we have a whole Richter scale of Lanterns that y'all just don't show no love to. And that's why I'm hoping the Lantern series do justice for it. I'm hoping it does, because the Justice League movie, it was chef's kiss. The new Green Lantern movie that came out in, I think, 2025 or 2024 with the new Jon Stewart. That movie, chef's kiss.
Zatanna, and we got Deathstroke, and we got Lobo, and we got Batwoman, and to see the response to those, they were so far beyond our expectations. I mean, that to me, it's so rewarding to know that something we did with an event made you want to read more comics. Like, that's the best feeling. So,
I want some chips.
Chris asks, was there something that you drastically changed from your initial drafts on your story to the finished product? And what was the thought process behind that, if you answer that?
I mean, I don't think we changed that much. You know, I'm an outline, I have a very loose outline, but that outline has like certain beats that they're really big emotional beats, you know? One thing that did change was issue 2, when they were going after the objects. Originally, we were going to have that be a big like fight gauntlet, and then we realized we just didn't have room to do
it.
An issue, and so that's when we decided on doing the fight month, because we were like, they need more breathing room, and then that's how we decided to do the objects. So it really was just a matter of one time in the story being like, we're never going to fit this in, so let's blow it out.
That's right. Yeah, that was fun. That ran into a bunch of people.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Bad Astronaut. Hello, Scott. I'm really enjoying DC K.O. and all the chaos that is coming with it. The powerful item free-for-all was a lot of fun. But my question is in regard to Superman in K.O. There's board game discussions and the president remark from Bruce. So what about this character inspired you to write this story, or what themes about his worldviews did you want to explore?
That is a great question. I really appreciate you asking that, because you know, when you do a story like this, or Metal or Death Metal, or I mean Absolute Batman too, but especially these big events, like a lot of it is about creating these big moments to show why our heroes are so awesome, and villains are so awesome, and they're super outsized and maximalist kind of in your approach, right? But at core, this is a really simple story for us. You know, it was about Clark is a character who could fix everything, you know, who could reshape the world. And he's given an opportunity to do it on a massive scale through this. If you win this tournament, the entire universe is yours to reshape. And you could get rid of everything bad. You could get rid of sickness and death and pain and all of it, and war. And that's kind of what people ask of Clark on a normal day-to-day basis, right? The question is, why don't you take it all over? Why don't you make everything better? And it is really tempting in times like these where there's so much to be afraid of, you know? And everyone wants someone to come and fix it or just help. Yeah. And the lesson I think of Superman is that that wouldn't be fixing it. That would be the opposite of what he stands for. He stands for, you know, he sees the best in us and asks us to be better. You know, he is inspired by us, a godlike figure inspired by our capacity for good and kindness, and generosity is the power of that character. You know, Wonder Woman to me is someone who tries to lead us actively, like towards the light. That's not really Clark. Clark does it differently. Clark is just, you know, is again inspired by what we could be and by our goodness. Bruce doesn't really care about inspiring us at all. He's just on his own mission. And the wonderful thing about Bruce is, like, you know, he's just leading by example without realizing it, by being like, you overcome trauma, you change the world, you use it as fuel to do that.
Yeah.
That's the brilliance of what Clark is, right? He's this guy who could do anything and, you know, chooses to find inspiration in us. And so that was the story. It was like, in a moment when we all want someone to take the controls and fix the world and make it the thing we want, whether it's what other people want or this person, that's not his role. That's not the role of these heroes. The role of these heroes is to make us brave enough to do that ourselves, you know, come together and change the world as a collective. And that's what he chooses. He chooses the energy of creation, the energy of collectivism, the energy of beginnings, the energy of hope, you know? And that's why it's so fun to write, is when you know what it's about and it's got a beating heart, no pun intended. When it has that, everything else is just playtime, you know? It's a personal story at the end of the day, and if you know that and what it's about and what it means to you, then it can be a 200-foot Joker or, you know, any point. It all can work.
I'll never forget when you pitched that, because it unlocked the whole event for me.
I remember when I pitched it to you too, because I was just figuring it out. I was like, I think it's this.
Yeah, it's amazing, because like that's exactly what Superman would do. No one should have that much power, not even me.
Exactly. And again, like, I can't say enough good things about Superman Guru over here. I was always right, he would, you know.
Absolute.
We insult me, okay.
Hello, Scott. I've been enjoying DC K.O. so far, especially Night Fight.
Nice.
What is it about DC K.O. that you really love to write about, hoping you have a great writer's journey?
Oh, thank you. I mean, I loved writing it because it's at core, like, what these stories, you know, strive for. It's massive conflict. Like, usually you do a story.
Sorry about the chewing if y'all hear it.
To get to that fight. Or
I'm just like snackative right now.
This one, it was like you throw them into the ring in one, and all the conflict's there, and all the scale is there. And I love that about events. It kind of like, it's like everything on steroids and maximum caffeine and all of it, and I enjoy that kind of bonkers energy.
Nice.
But I will say, like, one of my favorite things is watching Josh Williamson and Dan Mora on Night Fight. That book was the one part I was like, man, I wish I had written that. But the funny part is I wouldn't have written it as well as Josh did. I mean, I think it's actually a classic Batman story. Batman having to go up against the sort of grown-up and Batman versions of all of the, you know, his Robins, or the Robins that, and the children essentially he raised, and having to kind of, you know, overcome them to go back to being who he was, or make that decision whether he should or he shouldn't, to me is such a new and a primal challenge for him, and it just goes someplace we've never seen, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite Batman stories, and it's like, you know, I can't say enough good things about what Josh and Dan did with it, so I appreciate you asking that and referencing that, because to me it's a real, not a hidden gem, but it's one of the books that's going to like stand the test of time even after this event is over and everything like that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Asks, hey there, Mr. Snyder. Do you have a favorite modern DC character made within the last decade?
Oh, I was about to have the most obvious answer in the world. Made within the last decade. I mean, I like the ones we made a lot. Like, I like the Court of Owls and Duke, and the Batman Who Laughs are super fun. But I mean, I love a lot of the characters James made too, Punchline and Ghostmaker.
Oh yeah.
And I like what Matt's doing right now.
I like Punchline.
Is really cool.
The Batman Who Laughs is fire, and the different versions.
Did with Doomsday, with Time Trapper, and I don't know. It's like it's an embarrassment of riches right now with good characters that are kind of being made right and left. And again, like the Absolute Universe is a place that I'm very proud to be a part of, for all of the kind of creation of, even though they're classic characters, the kind of new versions of them there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dan Mora, Night Fight artist Dan Mora. He created a new character for Justice League that I absolutely adore. If you haven't picked up Justice League Unlimited yet, Cadejos. He's like this werewolf. Or not a werewolf. He's like this big wolf character with fire coming out of his face. Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. Very, very cool. All right, we're in the home stretch here. Valentino MB asks, "Hey Scott, huge fan. I've been thinking a lot about Darkseid's role on both DC K.O. and the Absolute Universe with his omnipresence and essence of evil. Where do you write him from? What do you think makes the character so essential and important for these stories?"
That's a great question too. I mean, we talked a lot about this, in the room about what Darkseid is and why he's the biggest kind of villain that we have at DC and what he represents. And
Yeah.
ultimately, like, it's not even the physical manifestation of him that's so scary. It's the idea that he is sort of the belief that all things should be taken unto him and therefore ended. But really taken unto him. He wants to control everything, and he wants to stop creation, and he wants to stop new beginnings and any kind of change, and he wants to absorb it and just have it be still within him. And that's it. He's kind of the ending of all things. But he's the desire for that. It's not just the end. It's like the desire for control, and to be the only point of view, to have everything be of you, to take it unto yourself and transform it into yourself and have no one else, to be alone with that. And I think, as somebody that writes comics is so collaborative. It's collaborative as a creative medium. It's collaborative with you guys, with the fans, with the retailers. It's a collective effort. It requires all of us to get together and not only make the books, but it is an intensely social thing, I think, in the way that we read comics and talk to each other about them.
Yeah.
He's kind of the perfect antithetical force, right? He's sort of like, all stories should be about me and what I want, and therefore there should be no new ones, and I am it.
Yeah.
He rails against the classic and he rails against the new. It all should just be, of him.
All about Darkseid.
Our job as storytellers and your job as fans is just to prove him wrong. Like, there's always new stories to be told in the main universe and new universes, and it's not only alive and well comics, but it's having a great moment. So that's why he's kind of like, when I was pitching it to Paul, I was like, he's almost like the troll online that's like, oh man, comics is dying, comics is over, comics. So that's like the simple reductive answer. But
I hate when people say that comics are dying. No, they're not. What are you talking about?
Really, there should be no risk taking, nothing new, nothing changing. It should all just be,
But you gotta have them haters.
Yeah, the ultimate rock.
Like the saying is, haters gotta hate.
That way, I think Paul Levitt's referred to Darkseid as Jack Kirby's gift that keeps on giving.
Oh yeah.
Nice summation. Lillian asks, "What was the most exciting part of the writing process for KO, and what was the most challenging?"
The most exciting part was honestly the collaboration with Josh and with Paul and Javi and Domenico and Alex, and the way that, like, when you write these things, you never know. I've never worked with Javi before, so I worked with him on one Elseworlds thing that I co-wrote a while ago, but I hadn't worked with him intensely before. So you never know what you're going to get back and how it's going to go. And within a couple pages, he did that amazing board game spread, and it was just like, oh, this guy enjoys this as much as me. And so the excitement, there were tons of moments I was excited for. I knew the final battle with Darkseid, that was going to go back in time, forward, and be this kind of epic world-spanning battle. I knew it was going to be incredibly fun to write. I knew Batman coming back and killing the Joker would be a once-in-a-lifetime thrill. But again, like, the real fun of it and the most exciting part was it was all new to all of us. We didn't know if it would work. Like, we do these things, and I swear to God, like, we're like, we love it. We don't know if you'll like it,
I like
it, and you feel the energy of, like, everybody in the room, like us as a team, in our treehouse making it, and we're having so much fun. The hope is you will, and to see you come back and enjoy it as much as you have, like, it really does mean a lot. I know it sounds corny, but it's the truth. So thank you guys.
That's true.
That's the most exciting thing too. It's just, you make it, you love it. It's new to you as you're doing it. You have no idea if it's going to work or not. And then to put it out in the world and have you guys come up at conventions and be like, I really like that. That meant something to me. That's the best part, right?
Absolutely. All right, we have our last question. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Gene here. What's your favorite character you've gotten to write during DC K.O. that you haven't had as much experience writing up to that?
That's
a good question.
I want to end on. Thanks, Eugene.
Yeah, really, I think Lobo was the one that I was, like, really excited all of a sudden to get to do. And part partly, you know, I saw what Scotty and Jorge were doing on the side, and it was just so exciting. I was like, I just want to get a tiny chance to write a little bit of it. So if you're, by the way, you clearly are reading Lobo, or you tried Lobo, because again, the numbers were great. But please pick it up because it's one of the best books we're doing this year. But yeah, he was a lot of fun because he's always breaking the rules, and in an industry where, you know, every once in a while people push back on that. It's a great feeling to be able to take somebody that lights a cigar and is like,
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
The main man.
Thank you so much for joining us. DC Official Discord. This is Paul Kaminsky and Scott Snyder signing off.
I gotta do that.
Hope you enjoy the next thing.
One thing I would say, that was cool. I like that. Okay, so this is the Discord server. Discord, DC. Okay, so I got to make sure I join that Discord so when they do questions, I can ask questions too. The main man, Lobo. Hey, that's what's up. I want to say before I end this video, I'm trying to see maybe anybody who's watching this video, if you play WD2K26, the video game, if you know how to make a DC K.O arena, that's what I'm trying to do for my universe mode. Is because my universe mode, I have it as, oh my god, these notifications. Excuse me for all my notifications if they pop up in the videos and stuff. For DC K.O, I want to do that in my universe mode because I'll put the playlist I do in my description that I do 1v1 fights where I have like characters just go up against each other. It's called Call. Excuse me. Oh my god, I got the burps. Call 1v1 where I have characters like the ones I did recently. Well, not recently, but the ones I'll give y'all example is Chun-Li versus Panther. Chun-Li from Street Fighters and then Panther from DC Comics. And I'll have them go on in like an Iron Woman match, or I'll do an Iron Man match with characters and have them go up against each other. And I'm trying to do a DC K.O, but I haven't found one on community creation. So if you're watching this video and you make like WWE arenas, could you message me in the comments if you make them? Because I'm looking for a DC K.O arena and I'll pay for it. Because I know there's a lot of people that create characters for people. Some people don't like paying for it. But I'm like, hey man, I'm willing. If you making a good ass character or a good ass arena or a title belt, I'll pay for it. It's the enjoyment of it too. Plus you're helping out that person. And shout outs to the person too. Because I want to do a DC K.O arena. So if you make WWE arenas or title belts, message me in the comments. Just tell me, like, hey, I make WWE arenas. I make title belts. Because I'm looking for a Red Lantern belt. A Red Lantern Corp belt to put on my guy. And I'll make sure I drop the guy that created my Red Lantern version of me and Red Lantern of Millie Alcock as Red Lantern Supergirl. I'll drop it in the link description so y'all can go to his Facebook. He makes fire creations, man. He's already working. He did a lot of them already, of Teen Titans, Artemis, and he's about to be doing the Lanterns. And I'm like, ooh, you cooking, bro. You cooking. And he cooked, bro. He cooks. So shout out to him for making my guy and Red Lantern, Millie Alcock, Supergirl as a Red Lantern. And I'll be doing my Rise. I don't know when I'll be doing it, but I'll make sure I'll make a poll letting y'all know about it. So make sure y'all tune in for that. And I want to thank y'all for coming by. I got to get back into playing DC Universe Online because They got a whole event with the lanterns, and I want to play it. I've been playing it, but I haven't been recording it because my laptop is not working. So I've been using my phone and my Xbox game thing on there, or live streaming and doing it that way. So I'm live streaming eventually. One of these, it's gonna be one of these months. I'm going to do it, or one of these days. I meant to say, because Lego Batman's coming out, so I'm gonna dedicate myself to the Lego Batman, and then the Invincible versus. I like it, but fighting games are just not my thing, and I don't know. Now, if they come up with an Injustice 3, I'm definitely going to be playing that because it's DC. But don't get me wrong, I love my Invincible. And if y'all like Invincible, I did a My Rise with him and Adam Eve. And I'll have that playlist in, not the description, but on my tab bar somewhere. But yeah. That being said, I want to thank y'all for coming by. You see the lantern poster in the background. Y'all want a good shot? Here y'all go. I wake up every morning looking at that poster. And it gives me inspiration too, that my Red Lantern journey that I'm on. But that being said, I want to thank y'all for coming by. Make sure y'all get y'all power rings, y'all Red Lantern rings. Zap that like button. Zap that subscribe button. Become a member of the Red Lantern Corps. Because you know, the RLC leader, JJ Stewart. I want to thank y'all for coming by. JJ Stewart, RLC Reacts. And like I always say, the Red Lantern quote, the Red Lantern oath as we close out this video. With blood and rage and crimson red, we rip you from your corpse, so freshly dead. Together our hellish fate. I said fate, I meant hate. Hate will burn you all. That is your fate. And I'll see y'all for the next video. We flying out into space.